Good morning. Welcome back to Losing the Boomer Blues, Chapter 3, Part 7. I'm going to continue reading on here. And we're going to begin here in just a second with Chapter 3. Jane volunteers at yesteryears. Jane was creating scenarios in her mind as to how Grace might react when she approached her about working at yesteryears. Business was picking up as winter was winding down. She hoped that Grace would welcome the idea. She finished her lunch, grabbed her purse and keys, and headed out the door. She arrived at yesteryears late in the afternoon and was nervous because she knew how stubborn Grace could be. More than likely, Grace would take the idea as an act of pity. She knew she had to be tactful when presenting her case and reiterate that it would be good for her to be out of the house. She entered the shop wearing a colossal smile, which instantly vanished as she tripped over her untied shoestrings and nearly fell to the floor. Grace looked up from her newspaper and blurted out, "Good God, Jane, when are you ever going to learn to tie your shoestrings properly?" "Maybe never," replied Jane meekly. Grace put the newspaper down. "How was your day going before that near mishap?" Bending down to tie her shoestring, Jane took a deep breath and sarcastically proclaimed, "My day will go much better now that my shoestring is tied properly. I don't want to fall flat on my face. My mind was on something other than my shoestrings, that's for sure." Standing upright and looking Grace in the eye, Jane continued in an even tone, "I've realized lately that Bob may never want to travel, and that bothers me because I have time on my hands. He enjoys playing golf, but unfortunately, golf is not my cup of tea. I've decided to spend my spare time doing what I enjoy too. You know what that would be, don't you, Grace?" "No, I haven't got a clue." She gathered up her newspaper scattered all over the desk, snapped a rubber band around it, and started walking to the front of the shop. Jane, moving closer to Grace, calmly said, "I'd love working here with you part-time. What do you say we give it a try?" Grace was silent. Jane followed her and pleaded, "I won't get in the way. I promise I won't. I know you like running the shop on your own, but I'm suggesting just part-time. Come on, Grace. I can help you out. You know how much I love being around antiques, and you too. Not that you're an antique. You know what I mean. Please?" Grace turned and looked up at Jane. She smiled and said, "I'll be 88 soon, and believe me, I feel like an antique with all those years behind me. Okay, I'll admit it. I could use some help around here, but I can only pay you minimum wage. Is that acceptable?" "No, silly. I don't want any money. I just want to be here." Grace took a long look at Jane, handed her a broom and a dustpan, and said, "There's no better time than the present. You do know that you'll receive perks for volunteering to work here. I don't expect you to help me for nothing." Jane hugged Grace and said, "Working with you will make a big difference in my life. I'm grateful for the privilege. Being bored at home doesn't do me any good." Grace retreated to the back of the shop as Jane started sweeping the floor. March 2017. As time passed, the ladies devoted every waking hour to staying busy, and more importantly, being as active as they possibly could. The best treatment for stress is exercise, so Mary and Jane joined 24-hour fitness. Good intentions might not last long, but it was worth a try. So far, they were managing to fit the gym into their daily routine. Life was beginning to improve, and with spring right around the corner, Mary was able to wear her sunglasses more often. Lucy was too busy with her art projects to join the gym, but found time to walk after dinner each day. Sometimes she even persuaded Fred to walk with her. It was an overcast morning. The sun was trying to peek out from behind the clouds when Mary woke on St. Patrick's Day. She felt a chill and quickly pulled the covers up over her head. Even though she realized she should get out of bed, she didn't want to lose the comfy warmth under her blanket. She began to wonder what she had in her closet to wear that was green. A green scarf would be nice, she thought. Maybe a green pin. A green hat? What about a green dress? This was getting her nowhere. She got out of bed quickly, turned on the space heater, and returned to bed. She stayed there until the room heated up. When the room temperature was comfortable, she reached for her robe and walked into the kitchen to start brewing the coffee. She returned to her bedroom, put on her blue jeans, added a green blouse, and pinned a green brooch onto her jacket. Knowing now there wasn't a chance of her getting pinched, she felt it was safe to wear her white sneakers. She returned to the kitchen to enjoy her first cup of the day, along with a brown muffin. As she sat at the kitchen table, she thought to herself, behind every dark cloud, the sun still shines. She was hopeful that the sun would be out by the time she was done eating. Positivity began taking over her thoughts. Since she had started living in the now, there wasn't any time for negativity. And on that note, she noticed the sun emerging from behind the clouds. She placed her empty coffee cup in the sink and walked into the laundry room to feed her beloved cat, Maxwell. She was almost ready to leave for her doctor appointment when she realized she hadn't grabbed her special sunglasses. She hurried down the hall to her bedroom to retrieve them. There was something magical that came over her every time she put them on. Every chance she got, she wore them out and about, and today was no exception. She enjoyed the flashbacks she experienced whenever she wore them. She slipped the sunglasses on, locked the front door, and left for her doctor appointment. When she arrived at Dr. Klein's office, she was pleasantly surprised to see that she was the only patient. Her hypnosis sessions, coupled with her daily exercise program, were starting to pay off. Dr. Klein was pleased to know that she was making progress. They discussed the benefits of her treatment plan. She explained that she felt more comfortable since she had started living in the now. She had joined a gym, but was continuing her daily walks. Dr. Klein agreed that exercise was a great stress relief. He pointed out that life tends to have a share of unexpected twists and turns, so building up her coping skills was most important. He stated, "Although we can't eliminate stress, we can control it. Proper exercise proves to be an excellent natural remedy, and it looks like you're doing much better because of that." He paused and said, "By the way, I've noticed that you haven't removed your sunglasses." "Oh, I feel so comfortable wearing them that I forgot I had them on." Self-consciously, she removed them and laid them on her lap. "That's interesting. They look vintage." "Where did you find them?" "I found them at Yesteryears." "Ah, Yesteryears. How's Grace doing anyway?" "A gracious lady, that's for sure." "Grace is doing well. I was fascinated by these sunglasses, so she gave them to me." "Sounds like they were a good find." "Yes, indeed. They convinced me that I could let go of my painful memories and break through the wall holding me back from a brighter future." "So they're helping you?" "Yes, positively. I feel comfortable wearing them, even though they look outdated. They took me back the first time I saw them. I couldn't believe how they gave me joy, and remembering about the events in my life that were strangely blocked from my memories. They seemed to release my fears of revisiting the past every time I put them on." Glancing at the sunglasses on Mary's lap, Dr. Klein inquired, "Do you feel you're hiding behind them?" "Well, sort of, I suppose." "We'll continue on tomorrow." Thank you for joining me.